While several teams continue to grind away in the NBA playoffs, the Golden State Warriors are looking ahead to next season and finding ways they can extend their dynasty. Warriors fans know what they're getting with Steph, Draymond, and a new and improved Klay Thompson returning from injury next year. But when you look up and down the roster, one big, and I mean very big, way that the Dubs can get to the next level is to maximize the play of James Wiseman. And aside from James working out and developing his game on his own this offseason, the next best thing is bringing in people that can turn him into the beast many think he can be. This video introduces you to the man the Warriors are banking on turning Wiseman from a player oozing with potential to the next MVP. Thanks for tuning in to today's video, guys. I'm Troy. This is the Half Court Report YouTube channel. If you like the NBA, be sure to click the thumbs up button, show some love to the channel. And if you're new, make sure you are subscribed and have those notification bells turned on so you don't miss any videos. Fresh content all the time. This video is sponsored by Thrive Fantasy, and you can use my promo code HCR to get your fantasy basketball fix all the way through the playoffs. Be sure to check them out in the link in the description. So let's talk Warriors, and you might have seen the latest Warriors coaching news. Dejan Milojević will join Steve Kerr's staff, and don't worry if you've never heard that name. I don't expect you to know who he is. That's why I'm making this video, to tell you what a perfect fit he could be in this Warriors organization. So who is Dejan Milojević? Well, simply, he is a Serbian basketball legend. He won, count 'em, 3 Adriatic League MVP awards in his playing days back in the early 2000s. His game was an old-school power forward, the type of player who would be described as rugged, an undersized big man with the skills and tenacity on the glass that actually earned him the nickname the Serbian Charles Barkley. So you're probably saying right now, Troy, lots of former players go on to be coaches. What's the big deal with this guy? How is he any different? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because the Warriors have brought in Milojević due to his experience turning raw but talented big men into stars. Milojević drew interest from the Warriors because of his coaching connections to the NBA's newest MVP, Nikola Jokic. Milojević coached Jokic on the team Mega Basket between 2012 and 2015, and he has been credited with some of Jokic's foundational basketball grooming. But this guy isn't just a one-and-done Jokic whisperer, alright? In international basketball circles, Milojevic's accomplishments stretch far beyond a single-star pupil. His mega basket teams have been churning out NBA players recently. He was the head coach of that team from 2012 to 2020, and while he was there, 11 of his players were selected in the NBA draft. 5 made it to the league. So simply put, this guy has a track record of making guys better and getting them to the NBA. It's the same thing we praise college coaches like Coach Cal and Coach K. They do the same thing. Just think what Milojević could do with a talent like James Wiseman. I mean, let's be honest. Wiseman hasn't really been coached the way a player like him should be coached basically ever. He was a star in high school, and if we know anything about high school ball, the game plan never really involved coaching Wiseman. It was always, hey, this dude is 7 feet tall, get him the ball. And in college, Wiseman had the chance to be coached, but he only played 3 games for the University of Memphis. Then he left the team to prepare for the NBA. The Warriors had big plans for him when he was selected number 2, but even then, with the pandemic and a shortened NBA training camp and preseason, the coaching that James Wiseman got was either rushed or insufficient. All this to say, basically everything we saw from James this year was just his raw talent and him figuring it out along the way. And yeah, that was good for 11 points, 6 rebounds, and a block a game, but the Warriors are expecting more from Wiseman, and I think they should be. That's why with Dejan Milojević, Wiseman has a great shot at realizing his already sky-high potential. Milojević has been eyeing the NBA for several years. He's been added to a few summer league staffs to dip his toes in the water, if you will. He was part of the Hawks Summer League staff in 2016, the Spurs in 2017, and the Rockets in 2018. All that experience is going to make his transition to the NBA much smoother. The Warriors had conversations with Milojević before last season, but the timing just wasn't right yet. But it is now, and he joins a staff that is undergoing a reshuffling. His hiring is on the player development side with an obvious focus on big men. In addition to Jokic, Milojevic was also an influential force in the Clippers' current starting center, Ivica Zubac. And that's interesting because we have two different styles of big men here. Jokic has that generational skill and touch, unteachable natural vision, and an array of post moves. Zubac is more of the rim-running, pick-and-roll dive threat who melds a splash of skill into a power type of style. He was 19 when Milojevic coached him. Jokic played for him between the ages of 17 and 20. Wiseman just turned 20, and he's different than both Jokic and Zubac. But Milojevic's task will be similar. Help accelerate the growth of a young, polished 7-footer with incredible potential. Wiseman may not be Jokic 2 seasons from now, but I do expect improved vision because that's a priority for Milojevic, and he's great at sharpening players' footwork. Some say that's even his specialty. The environment to expand Wiseman's game won't be the simplest. He is still recovering from meniscus surgery this summer, and even when he does return to the lineup, his most useful role to the Warriors next season is going to be a simplified one, more as a pick-and-roll dive man in short bursts. Maybe behind the scenes, though, he can improve and emerge quicker than expected and earn larger responsibilities. NBA archives are filled with sad stories involving young players with tremendous physical gifts who, for whatever reason, failed to receive proper nurturing. The Warriors are refusing to let that happen with Wiseman. Milojevic is stringent in his coaching methods. He can be blunt, he can be fiery. This is the type of coach a player like Wiseman needs, a player who at draft time had questions surrounding his passion for the game. This move also signals to me that the Warriors are committed to James Wiseman for at least another couple years. There have been rumblings that James Wiseman might be available in trade talks and a package for a star player. But with the hiring of Milojevic, I think that's less likely. Personally, I think this is a fantastic outside-the-box hire for the Warriors, and it shows how international the game has become. So if James Wiseman is as good as a lot of us believe, if he's as good as the flashes he showed last season, then Dejan Milojevic is going to help him put that together more consistently and even better for next year. Guys, tell me in the comments what you think of this new hire, Dejan Milojevic, the Serbian Charles Barkley. Make sure you leave a like on this video before you go and help support the channel. And you want to make sure to hit subscribe so you never miss another NBA video. You know, if Milojevic is as good a coach as advertised, they might have to change his nickname to the Serbian Phil Jackson. Or would Phil Jackson be the American Dejan Milojevic? Whoa, gonna have to think about that one.